Hey everyone, I am back again, and today I am doing another live message for you guys, and I'm really excited about another interview that I'll be doing for you guys over on my Instagram page tomorrow with the incredible and the amazing Pip McKay. I'm going to introduce you to. She does some phenomenal work. I've done a lot of her programs and her coaching, and it is phenomenal, and you're definitely not going to want to miss out on that. But what I wanted to actually share with you guys today is something kind of like, I think that we can apply all of what I want to talk to you guys about today to our lives, to no matter what's going on in your life. And I can see we've got Jason in the house. Thanks for the past hour. One of my amazing coaches online here, and Taha's here as well, and Christopher, good to see you guys. So today's message is all about how bad do things need to get before you learn the lesson, right? And I think we're all being faced right now with a bit of a challenge with COVID-19, and, things can get pretty bad, right? And we can look at it from, take a meta perspective, and we can look at how, it's sweeping the entire globe. And is this a time where everybody's being forced, to actually look and actually, make some changes and actually analyze and assess, is life how it is sustainable? Is it what I want? We can look at it from that big perspective. But what I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about today is my own personal experience, and having some major realizations, particularly over this last week or two, but all around taking further, deeper responsibility in my relationship dynamics. And something that has happened to me more recently has been that me navigating, again, the same sort of situation that I've played out many times in relationships, which is, as Jason would know, I know he's here today, he would know that, being too nice, right? Being too nice has been a pattern of mine that has cost myself and whoever else is involved greatly. And the reason is because there was not enough of my truth being expressed, and that never ends well for myself or for another person. And basically what's happened for me recently is, as you guys know, I left a relationship, and I did my absolute very best to consciously uncouple, the term coined by the amazing Catherine Woodward Thomas, and her amazing work, which was made famous by Gwyneth Paltrow when she went through a divorce a number of years ago. But yeah, really tried my absolute best to make sure that ended in the most amicable way possible. Didn't quite end up the exact way that I would have hoped for. And what happened at the time was I actually, somebody else came into my life who I had a really strong connection with, but wanted to keep it as a friendship, because obviously I'd just come out of a relationship, lots of things going on, still trying to navigate who I am and what I want to do from this next experience in my life. And using it also as a really great opportunity to do what I'd never done in the past, which was have some really clear boundaries about who I am, about what I want, about what I will accept, what I won't accept, instead of getting caught up in my pattern of seeing potential and not being alerted to the reality of where a person is actually at, where the dynamic is actually at. And it can actually cost you. Your niceness can absolutely cost you. Your potential seeking can definitely cost you and the other person. And so I used this meeting this new person as a really good opportunity to see if I could create something better, see if I could create something really on a foundation of authenticity and transparency, and to not fear hurting another person's feelings, so that, you can actually get your truth across. You're not attempting to hurt anybody, but in a way, for me, it really went against my grain, my grain of being really nice up front, seeing all the potential, discounting and subtracting any red flags. I wouldn't even be aware of them. And then I'd be falling into into the throes of a relationship, and then that might last a few years until I finally realized this is not going to reach the potential that I may have seen, and what I needed to do was be more realistic. And so this situation that's happened about a week ago, this person absolutely flew off the handle at me. Like, I'm talking throwing, screaming abuse at me over the phone, luckily, and then hanging up on me, and then getting into this whole barrage of abusive text messages, just like a ton of them. And at that point, I felt like, okay, this is a really good opportunity for me, because I'm not actually taking any of what this person is saying personally at all. And it was actually a really great opportunity for me to actually just have that opportunity to test how much my inner strength had grown. Because some of the things that this person was saying to me, if I hadn't done the growth that I've done up until this point, that could have seriously diminished my self-esteem. He was really saying the sort of things that could really, really hurt me, because he knew what was of value to me, and he knew exactly what to say in these attacks. But because I could see how hurt he was, I could see what was going on for him, and I didn't believe anything of what he was saying. It didn't ring true for me, because I have a level of solidarity in who I am and the quality of person that I am and why I do what I do. And so I was able to see through that, not take it personally, but also be in a position where I thought, this is my point right now. I can't actually, no self-respecting person is going to accept this kind of treatment. And it went on, I kind of gave an opportunity for him to potentially, calm down, have a normal conversation, apologize, and then maybe we grow and progress from there. Because as we know, conflict is ultimately a precursor for a depth of connection, if you're able to navigate that correctly. So I'm not afraid of conflict. I don't condone poor treatment, but I felt like I gave this person opportunity, and then what happened was I decided to open the door a little bit and then build my muscle to lay down a deeper truth of what was right, what was wrong, something that I would never do at this point, and kind of, in my terminology, be a little bit of a hard ass, that's just not my normal self, but it's absolutely the muscle that I'm required to build at this stage in my life, so that I do not run the same patterns that I have in the past. And so I opened the doors a little bit to that, and then what happened over this last little piece of time, over the last 24, 48 hours, was that this person actually got to a point where I had to block them completely from all social media, even my phone, everything, because they were just laying on abusive projections. And this person is very, very wounded, which is a whole nother story in terms of, that we can talk about the kind of people that we attract and the reasons for that. And if you guys drop me a comment and you let me know you want me to dive into that, I definitely will, but it might be a longer one if we go down that rabbit hole. But at the end of the day, what happened for me this morning was, there I was looking after myself, doing my F45 training, and I got a 321 message, a voicemail. And for some reason, when you block somebody on your phone, you can still receive voicemails. And so I felt like I knew who that was going to be from, and I listened to it, and it was one of the most abusive messages it was the most abusive message I have ever received in my life. It was threatening me, threatening my safety, all sorts of different things going on in that message, a lot of projection, but there was an element of like, wow, like, okay, that definitely solidifies that I've definitely done the right thing in removing this person from my life. But that's why I wanted to deliver this particular message to you guys, because how bad do things have to get for you to learn the lesson? Like, why do I need to have them get so bad that I've actually had, my life threatened by somebody? Also, my reputation and my business threatened. All sorts of things this person has attacked me with, and we didn't even have a relationship. I haven't known this person for very long. It was a purely friendship basis connection, and based on this person wanting something different, and when I didn't want the same, them feeling rejected, and then projecting their pain and hurt, and the wounding of their past being projected on me. Why I had to look at myself honestly, and I had to look at, why is it that I've attracted that? And that's not the only person in my life recently. Over these last few months, I've had several different people who were quite abusive entering my life, and I hadn't had that before. I recently had to remove one of my clients from my academy and coaching because they were abusing and overstepping my boundaries, my personal boundaries, and calling me at all hours of the night and contacting me. And not only that, but actually reaching out to people that I'm connected to, that I've been interviewing this week, and finding their phone numbers and off websites and calling them. And there's, I feel like this whole situation, the pandemic sweeping the globe right now, is making people a bit triggered, like it's triggering up all our fears and insecurities and craziness a little bit, but that's no excuse. And you also have to look at, why is it that you are 100% responsible for the treatment that you receive from others? And that's going to throw a few people. But I absolutely have to look at that. And what it came down to was actually due to a post that I put out to you guys this morning. I realized that, because a couple of the things that this person said to me, you're selfish, you've been leading me on, and you've wasted my time. That were the nice things that this person said, right? But I thought, at the time, I'm like, whoa, this person doesn't get me at all. But then I always sleep on things, and I always want to look at criticism. I always want to look for the element of truth that could support me in my growth and my progression. And so I did do that. And what it came down to was actually I could see that me not being really direct, really upfront, and instead me worrying and being so overly concerned with hurting this other individual's feelings, with potentially diminishing their self-esteem, with burdening them or impacting them in a negative way, I allowed that to lead the charge rather than being, in my terminology, that more of a hard ass, right? About being, what's the boundary? It's this, and so I have to build that muscle in order to learn this lesson. And I certainly don't want things to get so bad that I do have somebody physically attack me, in order for me to learn the lesson. And I think that we can all apply that to ourselves. I think that I have, been very naive in my life. I have been very overly concerned with other people's feelings over and above my own internal truth, that it has created bigger problems. So my message to you guys today is to not let things get so bad before you learn the lesson, and to realize that despite your intentions, because my intentions were really coming from a good place, it doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter, your intentions. You actually have to look deeper than that. And any time that you are out of alignment with your absolute truth, for whatever reason, even if it is a so-called nice reason because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, you're absolutely going to hurt them by operating in an inauthentic way. And even at the time, because this situation that's occurred for me, I've been trying to work it out on the fly. It's been a new experience for me. So, there was, I didn't have absolute clarity and certainty around what my truth was. So I could only be as clear as I knew in the moment, but that was definitely coupled with me overvaluing the other person's potential emotional experience over and above my own truth and authenticity. It definitely backfired on me because I've now got somebody who's absolutely threatening me and thinks that they can do that. And you know, that's my message for you guys today. What is it in your life? What is that lesson? What is that pattern of yours that keeps leading you to the same old lesson? And how bad do things have to get before you're going to learn it? Because in the relationship that I left recently, that was, the major lesson of that was me being overly accommodating for what another person wanted at the expense of my truth. And this next person coming into my life was kind of like that relationship times 10 in intensity from this person wanting something that I didn't want. And, it was an opportunity to test. Are you going to learn the lesson? We've all heard of the feather, the brick, and the bus. Do you learn the lesson when it's just a little tickle, like a little feather? Or do you have to wait till you get hit with the brick and that hurts a little bit more? Or in my situation right now, I feel like I've been hit with the bus and it could be worse than what it is right now, so right now it's just threats, it's not actual attack, it's not a physical attack at this stage. So, but I feel like I just wanted to be really open with a very deeply personal experience that I'm going through right now, in the hope that it does just, you can learn through my personal experience rather than having to have the bus hit you down the track. So I hope that this sparks something for you, and you do just think about that and go, what is that repeating pattern in my life? The moment you take 100% responsibility for it is the moment that you're in power to change it. If you play the victim, I could easily play the victim in this situation and be poor me, this person's crazy and, they're doing all this crazy stuff and I don't know what to do. But at the end of the day, if I take that route, I've totally given away my power and my ability to change a situation. So instead of doing that, you want to take 100% responsibility for everything in your life, for how somebody else is treating you, for what they're doing, for absolutely everything. And the moment that you do that is the moment you get out of, the victim mentality, so that you can actually become the creator of your own life and you can actually learn the lesson and grow. All right. So don't rescue people. Don't sacrifice your truth and your authenticity because other people you can sense have an insecurity and you don't want to hurt people. You have to be willing to be okay with hurting somebody's feelings. Because if you don't do that, if you don't have that willingness to do it, and I'm still even just saying that, I'm battling with that because I know that's my muscle to build. I really don't like having that quality of impact, right? But I also have to not be over responsible for other people, and I have to take all the responsibility for how I show up and me being in alignment with my truth and never sacrificing that for anybody else's feelings. And I hope that you're going to do the same. All right. So I could go on all day, as you guys know. I really hope today's message has served you. And I hope that it just gets you thinking, where are you letting things get so bad, before you learn the lesson? And you don't have to do it that way. Learn the lesson quickly, move on. And the way you learn quickly is take 100% responsibility for everything that's occurring. Okay. And that might rub you the wrong way, but I promise you, if you're somebody who wants to live an empowered life, it is the only pathway to live. Take 100% responsibility. Doesn't mean you stay in a situation that's not serving you. You'd have to take responsibility for that decision too. But, own, how you've co-created something and decide whether that's something that you're willing to accept in your life or if you have to make a change, all right? And do the very thing that will move you in the direction of a life that you'll be proud of, all right? And the quality of person that you know yourself to be. All right, I definitely want to check in with you guys, so drop me a comment. Let me know where in the world you're tuning in from. Have you got any questions or comments or words of wisdom or experience that you want to share on this particular topic today? I'd love to hear from you. So let me check in. I've got Christopher, Jason, Taha, good morning. And Jason, you are the best. You are, my friend. It's so good to have you here. And Jerry's here. Hello to you. And Taj and Dipendra and Kayla and Kate and Ram, hello to you. And Chico and Goldie, good morning to you. And Ulrich, hello from Germany, one of my favorite countries in the world. Hope you're doing well. And Alok is here and Julian. Oh, that's a very kind compliment. Thank you. All the way from Mexico. Thank you. And Sava's here and Lee and Taha. I will see this story. So you have to work. Awesome. Hope you catch a recording, get some value from it. And Julio from Mexico, unfortunately I can't read Spanish, but I really love that you're here and I hope that this is a powerful message for you. And Judy's here as well. And Wendy, I like that statement, the feather, the brick and the bus. Absolutely. So it's a really good analogy. I don't know where it came from, but I use it all the time, you know, to remind myself of the small things, because when we let the small things slide, they do stack up. And, you know, it's kind of like another saying around these terms is, you know, throw the dinosaur out whilst it's a baby, right? Don't let it stack up. Don't let the feather, that little alert that, you know, check your intuition, what's it telling you? You know, don't let that feather that you ignore turn into the brick that really hurts you. And then if you ignore that brick, turning into the bus that will cripple you. All right. Don't let things have to get that bad. You know, resilience is something that can be your greatest gift and your greatest Achilles heel. You know, our resilience to pain sometimes, you know, lets us take on a whole lot of crap that is not good for us, and it might stack up to become that wake-up call in, you know, a not so nice way, you know. But at the end of the day, just choose to wake up as early as possible. And that's why I'm very grateful to have the coaches that I do in my life. One of them has joined us today in this session, Jason. You guys, if you've been watching the interviews this week that I've been putting on for you on Instagram, you would have seen two of my coaches, Anya and Jason Irving. And I'm forever grateful for them because they are absolute truth tellers. And we need people like that in our lives. And I'm a coach, but I need coaches. We all need people in our lives who have our best interests at heart and are willing to tell us the truth even when it hurts. All right. So, because that's how we wake up earlier. So we're not hit with buses. We just get the feathers and we pick them up and we make our shifts and changes. But, you know, like the situation I'm sharing with you guys today, I have allowed this situation throughout my life to reach the bus part of the analogy. But, you know, that's why I'm waking up to it right now and sharing it with you guys. So love that, Wendy. Angela's here as well, and Barry and Goldie. You're at work. Awesome. And Daryl, negativity is an a pandemic, maybe. Quarantine your mind and stay positive. I love that. Awesome, Daryl. Absolutely. And Joseph's here, and Lee is from England. Awesome. Love it. And Dwan, powerful message. Grateful to hear that. Beautiful. And Frank, Vanessa, how do you recover from being thrown under the bus? You learn the lesson, right? So, you know, and that's another part that I just want to break down for you right now. You threw you under the bus. Nobody else did that. I've thrown myself under the bus that I'm currently dealing with, you know, and that's part of the message that I want to give you guys today, because 100% responsibility is what it's all about. You put you under the bus, nobody else put you there. And the way that you recover, you know, from throwing yourself under the bus is you work out, you take 100% responsibility and you learn the lesson. You know, for me personally, it's about never sacrificing what's true and authentic for me, because it doesn't work out. It doesn't matter how much I'm trying to protect somebody from feeling hurt, or, you know, just trying to be nice. You know, it always ends up a painful experience for both parties. All right. And if you want a deeper insight into this, I recommend that you read the post that I put out this morning for you guys, because that was my journaling on this particular topic. So hope that helps, Frank, and get support. Get support from people who've been through maybe that particular challenge that, you know, they've been under the bus themselves, and they've actually recovered from it, and they can share their personal journey and experience and get some support on it. Or yeah, like that's another way, you know, reach out for some support, but definitely 100% responsibility and what's the lesson here, so that you can break it. And you want to look at what's the lesson and look at the pattern. How is that pattern played out in your life and why, right? So like I said, I could go on a rabbit hole with you guys. I might do that in another message for you guys, to show you I was able to track back this pattern of mine right to my childhood and see exactly why I was playing this pattern. I'd been playing it very unconsciously, but I had to at some point, you know, get hit with enough buses, right, that I was like, you know what? Next time this might actually take me out, you know, so I need to look at this and own this. And I've gotten the most clarity I've ever had in my life before because of this experience. So, you know, although it's challenging, you know, those buses in our lives are actually opportunities for your evolution and your awakening and your consciousness, and to also make sure that you break the patterns that don't serve you or others, and you choose a new way, and you go about, you know, sometimes we have to be motivated by a bit of pain to change. So that's kind of the situation here. So I hope that helps, Frank. Angela, hello to you, and Susan and Sarah and Jose, thank you for your kind words. And Sarah, hi Vanessa, I've missed the beginning, but we'll watch again on replay. Hope you are well. I am, and hope you are too. Beautiful. That's awesome. And Namal is here as well. So all of you guys who are catching, just jumping on right now, I do hope that you do catch the recording, get some value from what I share in my personal journey right now that's currently I'm experiencing it. I'm right in the middle of it right now. But I want you guys to just wake up to, you know, just don't let things get so bad for you to actually wake up. You know, don't use resilience in a way that's unhealthy, you know, by withstanding all the pain to the point where it just stacks up. Instead, like I said, throw the dinosaur out whilst it's a baby. Feel the feather tickle you before it turns into a brick, before it turns into the bus and takes you out. And I hope that me sharing my personal journey with you guys will support you and will alert you to maybe something in your own life that you really need to just wake up to right now, so that you don't have to create any more pain in your life. And those of you who have been enjoying the interviews that I've been putting on for you all last week, and another one on Monday, I think it was, I am going to be doing another beautiful interview with one of my coaches, Pip McKay, and she will be on 2 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow we'll be live from my Instagram page. I'll link it up above this video so you guys can make sure that you're following me, so you get the alert and you can jump on and really dive into her amazing wisdom. So can't wait to share that with you guys. Hope to see you there, and please do share this message if it has been of value. And Chrissy's just joined. I hope you catch a recording, get some value, because I'm just about to sign off. And as always, I'm sending you guys all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything extraordinary coming to you to wherever you are in the world today. I really do hope that it's beautiful, amazing, and extraordinary, that you're doing something super empowering, and today's message has definitely served you. Thanks for showing up, guys. I so appreciate you joining me live and tuning in and contributing to the conversation. Always appreciated, and hope you guys are staying safe and sane during this crazy time, and I hope that you will join me tomorrow in my live interview on Instagram with the amazing Pip McKay. All right, thanks, Jerry. See you tomorrow. Awesome. Much love to each and every one of you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.